Hello and welcome to our Consulting Specifying Engineer video discussion. I'm your host, Amara Rosgis, and today I am speaking with Vincent Patti from Trane. Hey Vincent, how are you?
Good morning. Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Good. Well, thanks for joining me. Before we get to the technical side of things, let me provide some background about our subject matter expert. Vincent Patti serves as Trane's field operations leader, overseeing the VRF and ductless product portfolio. In this role, he spearheads the post-sale operations strategy for Trane's commercial ductless business across the United States, ensuring optimal installation, startup, and technical support. This commitment enables Trane to provide its ductless customers with world-class service and support. Additionally, Vincent is responsible for the strategic direction of Trane's VRF technical training centers nationwide. He plays a pivotal role in fostering the development and growth of Trane's ductless technical specialist community. Since joining Trane in 2014, Vincent has held various positions that have equipped him with the expertise necessary for his current role. With 35 years of HVAC field experience, including 11 years as the owner-operator of an HVAC business, Vincent possesses a comprehensive understanding of customer needs from end to end. All right, so that's a lot of information, Vincent. Can you give us an overview of your role as the
Sure.
ductless field operations leader at Trane and what your day-to-day responsibilities entail?
Yeah, that was a great intro. A lot to unpack there. But my primary focus, as you mentioned, is to develop the post-sale strategies so that we as Trane can support our customers in the best fashion necessary, right? So we think about pre-sale and we think about post-sale. There's two different buckets. Pre-sale side is where our engineers work with our Trane folks, help them design, apply equipment, right? So an engineer has a vision, they put that on paper, they will connect with Trane, Trane will help them select the proper equipment, a job will go out to bid, a winning contractor will be awarded, the shipment of the equipment will occur, and then that's when I look at post-sale. So now the customer has the equipment. What do they need to do now to get that equipment installed, right? Because there's two sides. There's the visionary side on the engineering, but then there's an execution side from the post-sale, right? The field installed equipment. So my team specifically focuses on executing the installation of this equipment at an extremely high level. So we have across the nation 54 ductless technical specialists, and those individuals are our subject matter experts, which every day focus solely on Trane Mitsubishi ductless and VRF equipment. So these individuals are assigned to every single project that we sell, and they are a one-on-one liaison for that contractor. They can call them on their cell, they can text them, they can email them, but furthermore, these individuals will be on site with the contractor as their resource. So think about an engineer who's specifying equipment. They may not know who is actually installing it, but knowing that we as Trane have these individuals to support that install is usually impactful. Another opportunity that we have to offer our customers is our training centers, as you mentioned. Currently, we have 18 centers across the US. Next year, we'll be opening one more, which will be our 19th. So the idea is, do we have a center in a location where a customer can reasonably get there, right? Are we asking them to fly somewhere? No, we want to have these centers strategically placed so that they can jump in a car and get the installation training that they need.
Okay. And you kind of touched on this, Vincent, but in what ways do your ductless technical specialists support engineers in the design of the ductless or VRF systems? And then, assisting contractors? And what does this support do to contribute to the overall success of these projects?
So our post-sale ductless technical specialist teams work directly with our ductless sales specialist teams. So typically on the pre-sale side, the ductless sales specialists have the relationship with the engineers, but the ductless technical specialists really understand what the job takes to work seamlessly from a field perspective. So it's one thing to read some, we'll call it sequence of operations on paper, but then when we implement that in the field, our ductless technical specialists will translate that back to our ductless sales specialists so that when they're having the conversations with the engineers, we know, hey, this is probably a situation where we can adjust, maybe tweak some things on the design side so that at the end of the day, the product that we're outputting is exactly what the engineer is looking for. So our relationship from a post-sale perspective doesn't necessarily directly connect with the engineers on a daily basis, but indirectly through our ductless sales specialists and our Trane account managers. So we collectively work as a team to make sure that the engineers have the information they need to properly design the equipment.
Okay, and
That
you
helps?
said you have 18, almost 19 training centers across the United States.
That's right.
How does Trane ensure that engineers or contractors or technicians are well trained and up to date on everything, whether it's installation or technology or best practices?
So there are different avenues of this. So I'll speak on the engineering side, right? We have a tool, we refer to it as Diamond System Builder. So think about an engineer is laying out a project and there are tons of pieces of equipment to select, right? This tool that we have will allow an engineer to select a piece of equipment and successfully pair it with the right outdoor unit. So if you think about stepping back and you're driving through a neighborhood and you see a small residential ductless system, right? They're all over the place. That system is not compatible with a large VRF system. So if the engineer mistakenly connected these two, that program that we have will allow them to say, hey, wait a second, these two are not compatible. We need to get this actual indoor unit. So what we do is offer a training for all of our engineers, and we have 126 CSO commercial sales office locations throughout the United States, where an engineer can connect with a local CSO and get specified training on this design software. So that's really the beginning of it, right? Any questions on that?
That's that sounds incredible. Can you share some examples or, background on where your team's support significantly improved the outcome of, a VRF installation project?
Yeah, so for my side on the post sale, the field execution, this team unfortunately sometimes is looked at in such a way that what they do on a daily basis becomes the norm, if that makes sense, right? We're constantly supporting contractors on site every day. So the crisis that we may avert is done on a situational type of, I guess, scenario that I'll give you an example. Here's an example of something that happened recently. We had a contractor we were supporting. We shipped them a couple of different sites at one time. So think about their warehouse. They have a couple of projects going on. They have equipment in their location, and their mindset is, hey, we want the equipment. We will go out to the site and we will deliver that equipment ourselves to the location when we're ready. So they gear up, they load up some equipment, bring it to a site. They're connecting with our DTS. Our DTS sets a kickoff meeting up. We review the project and we look at all the equipment as part of our inspection. And we realize that there is one unit there that's the incorrect voltage. We start digging in and we realize that the unit that they grabbed from their local office was for another site. So think about how this could have been rigged, could have been wired, and what kind of catastrophic event that could have been, right, after the fact. So situations like this happen all the time, all day. And that's just a proactive from a kind of install, right, related. Just think about the level of support that a contractor will have, knowing that if I need any support, I'm not calling an 800 number. I'm calling a person who's going to be on site with me holding my hand. So that level of confidence really is important, because the skill set between various contractors differs greatly, but we kind of level that playing field by being there to support contractors that have limited experience and contractors that are very experienced, anywhere in between.
Definitely, definitely. So then, kind of a wrap-up question. How does Trane's approach to field operations or training differ from other companies in the HVAC industry?
Yeah. So the first question we ask ourselves is, are we putting our contractors in the best position to win, right? And if we're not offering installer training, we don't believe that we're putting ourselves or putting them in the best position to win. So our training center platform, right, which is continually growing, Trane believes in this wholeheartedly. We will continue to invest in this because we believe if the contractors are equipped with the tools that they need, there is a better outcome, right? And that goes back to the engineering design aspect, right? If a engineer is created this vision, well, that's limited by the installing contractor, right? And knowing that the execution of that is absolutely paramount to a successful outcome, well, we have the ability to kind of bring these folks into our organization, hold their hand, give them the training they need, and get that squared away. The next thing we think about, right, is the Diamond Designer class, which is kind of the proactive. So if we have the vision of the design properly executed from the beginning, well, if we marry those two together, we have a really good design, we have really good execution from a field perspective, we have individuals that will be on site holding the contractor's hand during the entire process and beyond. Well, we believe that this is a customer experience that is really hard to top, right? And the feedback we get is incredible.
Great, great to know. Thank you so much for that overview.
You are welcome. I certainly hope that we were able to kind of create a vision on from when this project is created on paper to the actual startup. There are many different touch points at Trane, and we have just about every single one of those covered with top class individuals.
Excellent. Well, today I've been chatting with Vincent Patti from Trane. If you'd like more on specifying and designing HVAC systems, please visit Consulting Specifying Engineer at www.cscmag.com. Thanks, and see you next time. Bye-bye.